Hi BookTube, Thea here, and today I am doing the Intimating TBR tag. This tag was started by Lindsay over at Lindsay Ray, and I will post her video down below. This is an original tag that she created. She tagged anyone who had over 60 books on their TBR. I fall into that category, so I'm going to go ahead and do the tag. Question 1 is, what books have you been unable to finish? I could have really picked up a lot of books for this question, but the book that I went with was Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West by Gregory Maguire. I've tried to read this book several times. I've owned it for a couple years. I tried to read it in high school and read a couple chapters and put it down. And then I tried to pick it up again in college, read a couple chapters and put it down. So it's not something that I've got around to reading. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and try to get through it this year. Question 2 is, what books have you been unable to finish because you haven't had the time? Again, I could have really chose any book for this question, but I went with All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I got this book for Christmas from my dad, and it's just not something I've got around to reading yet. It's a fairly decent sized book, and I've been wanting to read it. I'm super excited to read it. I just haven't had a chance to read it yet. So I'm hoping to go ahead and get this done this year as well. Question 3 is, what books have you been unable to read because it's a sequel? For this, I went with The Mirror King by Jodi Meadows. I got this arc as a prize in a giveaway, and I haven't read The Orphan Queen yet, so I'm hoping to be able to go ahead and pick up a copy of The Orphan Queen very soon and get to this in the next couple months. I do know that this comes out next month, so I probably won't get to it before then, but I haven't read this yet because it is a sequel to Orphan Queen. Question 4 is, what book have you been able to read because it's brand new? I haven't bought a book that's really brand new, but the book that I've bought that's the closest to being brand new is Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. I haven't read this yet. I haven't read Red Queen yet, so this is the newest book that I own. Question 6 is, what book have you been unable to read because you're not in the mood for? For this, I chose Dune by Frank H. Herbert. I definitely am going to need to be in the right mindset to read this book. I want to read it. It's just not something that I've been in the mood for. I feel like it's definitely a mood read, and it's a pretty big book. The font is pretty tiny, and it's just something that I need to be in the right mindset to read. Question 7 is, what book have you been unable to read because it's huge? For that, I went with Walt Disney, The Triumph of the American Imagination by Neil Gambler. I love Walt Disney. I've heard this is a really good biography to read. It's huge. It's like 900 pages. So it's just a big book, and it's going to be something that's going to take me a while to get through. So this is probably the book that is intimidating because it's just so big. Question 8 is, what book have you been unable to read because it was a cover by that is met by not good or poor reviews? That is Puppy Love by A. Destiny and Catherine Hapka. I picked this book up solely based on the cover because it had a dog, and of animals, I love dogs, so I solely bought this book because it had a dog on the cover and it was called Puppy Love, so it sounded like it was going to be really cute. But when I got home and I went on Goodreads to find out about it, it's met by, on average, pretty bad reviews. So I just kind of have been avoiding it because it's just mainly on Goodreads that it hasn't been a very good read. Question 9 is, what book have you been unable to read because it's the most intimidating? That is by far Les Mis by Victor Hugo. I love the musical. The musical is one of my favorite musicals. I've owned this book for a couple years, but it's the most intimidating book that I own. It's scary. It's a huge book, like 910 pages or so. So it's very intimidating to read this. I know font is pretty tiny. The language of the book is just not something that I am ready for yet. But I do want to read this. I love the musical. I love the story. This is just a really intimidating book, and hoping to get around to it eventually. Maybe I'll do a read along with someone who wants to read this with me, and do like a, you know, so many pages a night or so many chapters a night, to be able to get through this. So if you're interested in doing a read along with this, please let me know. I feel like if I try to read it by myself, I won't get through it. But I really do want to get through it. It's one of my favorite musicals. I love the story, but it's a big book and it's very interesting. And question 10 is, who do you tag? I am going to tag Marie from Beyond Opinions. I'm going to tag Reagan from Pursue Project, and I'm also going to tag Samantha from Thought on Tone. I'm also tagging Becca from Becca Awesome Book Nut, and Elena from Elena Reads Books. I will link their channels below, and I will also link the Goodreads page to any of these books down below. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!